The Whiskey Brothers Podcast.
It is a pleasure to bring in one of our dear friends, a regular on the podcast. Previously, Houston's comedy entertainment reporter.
And now, fucking Queen in person.
Shit. Please welcome to the Whiskey Brothers Podcast, Tommy Drake.
Tommy.
Hey guys, my comedy entertainment report tonight is an editorial. And it starts out with a little bit of entertainment trivia.
Ooh.
What do Thin Lizzy, Guar, and the Whiskey Brothers now have in common? They all still exist, except with none of the original members. I have some good information that you guys apparently don't have. I know where Mungle's going. Rob Mungle isn't retiring. He's starting a new podcast with Bill Miller, Ben Mowbray, John Wessling, Owen Dunn, and Kiki Maroon called The Scotch Sibling. I also hear that Rob is leaving the Whiskey Brothers so he can devote more time and energy into being skeptical.
You know what, Tommy? I question that.
Rob Mungle is so skeptical that he doubts whether or not he is leaving the Whiskey Brothers.
It's a conspiracy.
So do we.
Now listen, I know that none of you follow God on Twitter, but I do, and God has tweeted about Rob Mungle. God said, Rob, I'm going to miss hearing you. By the way, I don't believe in you either.
Okay, now I believe that. That's true.
Face with a long gray beard after that.
Yeah.
And then it says, hashtag fuck your pod. Sam Damaris has a huge responsibility now that he is the whitest. Get used to talking to the cops, Sam.
Get used to talking to the cops.
This is exciting. New York Times headline tomorrow morning.
Uh-oh.
Whiskey Brothers lose 1/4 of their members and half of their privilege. I predict that hundreds of years from now, archaeologists will debate on whether or not the Mungle and Tutson periods had any overlap. Rob is a Houston comedy legend, no question about that, but that doesn't mean that he is irreplaceable. Houston is thick with comedy legends, with just a little bit of rebranding. You could plug one of those legends in there in Rob's place. As an example, Mohammed Amer, Mo Amer could replace Rob Mungle, and instead of the Whiskey Brothers, you could call yourselves the Whiskey Brotherhood.
I got to be promised.
The phrase will be Allah be fucked.
I got to be honest. Mo Amer, more problems. That is a...
There'll be less jokes about fisting and more jokes about fasting. Houston comedy legend Ali Sadiq could take Rob Mungle's place, and you could change the name of the show from The Whiskey Brothers to Comedy Central Presents The Whiskey Brothers.
Oh, you ass.
Houston comedy legend Andy Huggins could take Rob Mungle's place, and you could change the name of the show from The Whiskey Brothers to Brother I Miss Whiskey.
Oh, wow.
But then we would have to start the show at 7:30 a.m.
Yeah. Fellas, what are we doing?
Houston comedy legend Caroline Picard could take Rob Mungle's place, and you could change the name of the show from The Whiskey Brothers to Crown Cajun Cousins, spelled with all K's. Houston comedy legend Juan Villarreal could take Rob Mungle's place, and you could change the name of the show from The Whiskey Brothers to The Whiskey Grandfathers. Or the Tequila Tios. I had two punchlines for Juan. I didn't know which one to use.
It's, I think, the 119 grandchildren puts that one first.
Houston comedy legend Thea Vidal could take Rob's place, and you could change the name of the show from The Whiskey Brothers to Thea. I have to say, honestly, we all lost money in the office pool around here. In the era of cancel culture, Mungle is going out on his own terms.
Yeah. That did not pay.
I told myself I wouldn't get emotional tonight, and I didn't. Rob Mungle is the only Whiskey Brother that has my phone number, so this is probably my last appearance on this show, too. Gentlemen, thanks for letting me be part of this.
Oh,
Cheers
Tommy
to
Drake.
you, Rob.
Cheers,
Thank
Tommy.
you, Tommy.
We raise a glass. Houston comedy entertainment reporter, whiskey brother, alumnus, and our dear friend Tommy Drake, ladies
Thank
and
you,
gentlemen.
Tommy.
Tommy, is that a margarita?
God, no, that's whiskey on the rocks.
All right, sorry about
With a
that.
good round Cuban.
This is whatever this is. What's this?
Oh, that shit that Sam put straws in. And drinks it like a fucking 4-year-old with a Happy Meal.
Tommy, thank you so much for being here. We
Yeah,
love you
brother.
to death.
The Whiskey Brothers Podcast.